Good morning and welcome to Weekends with Whitney, and welcome to August. Thanks for spending your first Sunday of the month here with us. Coming up on this morning show, here in Hollywood South, a lot of people are trying to make it big in the acting world. For some seasoned stars like these two, stardom pretty much fell into their lap. Wait until you hear what they're doing now and why for Eric Estrada, he's finally living his dream outside of acting. Plus, dancing for a cause in Ascension Parish, how rigorous training and practicing is giving others a better life. Then, Dr. Nick, do you know your love language? There are 5 of them, and everyone has a dominant one. How it can improve your relationship with your significant other, your children, your friends, even your boss. Plus, Chef Harrison gets your Sunday sizzling with angel hair Pomadora. We'll head into the kitchen at the Little Village to show you how. But we begin with changing or altering your career, even when you've been successful at it and maybe even made a lot of money at it. Well, even in Hollywood, the path to true happiness is following your passion. Eric Estrada captured the hearts of millions worldwide in his role as the macho and rambunctious California motorcycle police officer Ponch on CHiPs. The hit TV series aired on NBC from 1977 to 1983. It's still airing in syndication weeknights at 5 on MeTV.
The show was a great show for back in the day, there was 3 major channels, and you can park your kid in front of the TV and walk away for an hour and not be afraid that your child's going to be hearing half the stuff they hear today on TV. It's a totally different time.
Larry Wilcox played his straight-laced partner, John Baker.
My wife says, how much blood can you get out of that turnip, But it's still going. It's on MeTV, so, now younger kids get to see a good show, and some of the television shows today have a lot of violence, so this is a nice other choice.
The roles made them superstars and a lot of money. Each earned more than $25,000 an episode. They starred in more than 100 of them. The lightweight action crime drama was a fan favorite.
When I run into people my age now, they say, God, I grew up with my brothers and sisters. We watch it. I watch it with Grandma. Grandpa was great. So it reminds them of warm, fuzzy times.
But the roles they always wanted had nothing to do with acting or Hollywood. Eric grew up poor, fatherless, and fearful in Harlem. He decided at an early age he wanted to be a police officer. But he enrolled in his high school drama club to get close to a girl he liked. He landed the lead role, and his acting career took off. The money was too good to turn away from. After landing his role in CHiPs, he moved his mom out of the projects in Harlem, and she never had to work again. He continued acting, but when he was financially sound, he returned to that childhood dream of being a cop, not just playing one. Now he's an officer in Virginia.
My favorite thing is that I'm a ICAC investigator, Internet Crimes Against Children, out of the state of Virginia. I'm a real deputy sheriff now.
I didn't know that. Congrats.
Yeah, I do that. We go out and get these predators and put them in cages where they belong.
For Larry, his acting career just kind of fell in his lap.
Acting was a good hobby when you're young and have an identity crisis.
Larry knew it wasn't wise to rely on it.
Acting's an up and down career, plus you have a shelf life. Sometimes people buy the shoes and sometimes they don't. You got to address that.
After CHiPs, he followed his dream of being a business owner. He started a production company and produced award-winning shows on HBO, along with movies for MGM, Columbia, and Universal Pictures. Then he saw enormous opportunity in the emerging tech world and jumped on board.
I own technology. We do digital distribution to every device in the world in 57 languages, and then we do turbines. We take water and convert water pressure to turbines and produce 50 megawatts per hour for a city, so they don't have to use wind and solar that only is 5% of 12% efficiency.
Larry and Eric are proof you're never too old to follow your dreams. Still ahead on Weekends with Whitney, dancing for a cause. Why these amateurs put their egos and their humility on the line for others. Plus, love languages. There are 5. Which one are you and those you love? Dr. Nick shows us how knowing brings everyone closer. Then we head into the kitchen at the Little Village to whip up angel hair Pomadora after this.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Ponch River, here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only way to go, that's Maggio.
This segment brought to you by our friends at Wayne Stabler Companies. Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. It's hard to put yourself out there sometimes to help others, especially when it involves a stage, lights, camera, and shaking your bonbon. Well, recently, some folks did that, and here's why. They cha-cha, got into the swing of things, ignited their disco inferno, flashback to the 40s. Got downright funky and more. All to raise money for the Arc of East Ascension, which helps people with developmental disabilities live life with independence and dignity, even at the possible expense of losing a bit of their own dignity with a wardrobe malfunction, falling on their face, or completely freezing on stage. None of which happened, thankfully. But it's always a risk you take when some of the best dancers around pair up with local community leaders with little or no dance experience. Even the pros, like the king of dance himself, Leonard Augustus, get nervous. Now, you're dancing in 3 numbers tonight. How do you feel?
I hate this. I'm so nervous.
Come on!
I know everybody says you've been doing this for so long, you shouldn't be nervous, but I hate it. I get so nervous, I can hardly speak, really. So, but I'm excited. All my dancers are ready. You know, they're excited.
The pressure is so intense on so many levels, it really can make your heart skip a few beats.
I think I'm nervous for my team. I want them to do so well because they've worked so hard. And I don't want to disappoint them either. I want to do a great show. And we want to put on a show that's going to make people want to come back next year. So it's just like it's a do or die. If you make a mistake, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life, that kind of thing in the back of your head. So
Kathy Kleebear's nerves were almost unbearable, but she pulled through like a champ. And when it was over and the pressure off,
Good job! Okay, I saw her backstage earlier. You're gonna have a great time. She was like, I don't know about that. Did you have a great time? Well, you gave the rest of us a great time, so we thank you for that.
nevertheless, she helped raise $40,000 for the Ark this year. It started 6 years ago on the heels of the ABC hit TV show and the enormous success of Dancing with Big Buddy in Baton Rouge.
came and they saw Big Buddy's show, and they were inspired by that, and so they used it as a model. And then they, the next year, they came and asked us if Team Leonard would help support them, and we've been supporting them ever since, so we're excited.
Excited, Leonard says, to help a great cause and see the non-professionals stretch and challenge themselves in new ways.
So what I always try to say is, when you get on stage, just try to have fun. And you know, who's going to regret having fun in life?
Nobody.
Nobody.
And you know, despite the fact that you forgot some of our dance steps when we danced together,
yeah.
I still love you.
And you ask me why I'm nervous, because I'm supposed to be the professional and I'm the one flumming up, you know? It can happen.
Everyone was a winner here, but those served by the Ark of Ascension stole the show and were truly the happiest of all. Dancing with the Cause will be back next July, so mark your calendar. It's a great night of fun for a great cause. And coming up as Weekends with Whitney continues, a fast, delicious pasta dish with Chef Harrison and the language of love. There are actually 5 of them. Dr. Nick shows us how it'll improve every relationship in your life after this.
Hi, I'm Robert Meyer, inviting you to spend some of your summer in beautiful New Roads. Hit the water of False River for fishing, swimming, boating, and more. Feast on the finest food anywhere at our award-winning restaurants. Get in some retail therapy strolling our unique stores, and take in some of our wonderful culture. Spend the day or spend the week. Whatever you do, spend some time in New Roads.
Just for all you pasta lovers this morning, Angel Hair Pomadora. We are joined by Executive Chef at the Little Village on Airline, Harrison Decker. Good to see you again.
You too.
Thanks. So you're adding a little twist to this, you tell me.
Yes, on the menu, our Pomadora is a vegetarian dish. It's tomato and garlic sauce with angel hair pasta, but I love all kinds of protein, so I'm adding a little grilled chicken to it.
Great.
You can add grilled shrimp also, or even a piece of fish if you like.
You know, I think that's something that a lot of us who are dining out don't think of, and that's just to change up a recipe and ask for it. Oh, I'd really like that with shrimp, or really fish. You can do that.
We're always open. We do whatever anybody wants, I can do it.
Awesome.
So we're gonna take we have a pounded out chicken breast, add a little bit of our grill seasoning.
Okay, now ask Harrison, if you don't want to make your own rub, because mine is not as good, you can use a Tony's base or something like that.
You can use a Tony's base and then just add maybe a little bit of garlic powder and some Italian herb mix, and it'll be close. It won't be the same. But
No, I know, it won't be the same, but I
It'll be
think it's
close.
closer than just Tony's.
Yeah. And while that's grilling, we'll start our sauce for the pasta. I have a tablespoon of butter melted in the skillet. Now we're gonna take some half cherry tomatoes, a little bit of minced garlic, and basil. And let that saute just a little bit. And add a little bit of salt and pepper.
And always fresh basil, right?
Always fresh basil, always. So once those tomatoes soften up a little bit, we take, this is our marinara that we make here.
Oh, and you make it fresh every morning, you tell me.
We make it fresh every morning. Stew down tomatoes, onions, garlic, and herbs.
And if you're wondering why your sauce doesn't taste like theirs, because I was wondering the same thing. Well, they cook theirs 6 or 7 hours. That's one of the big differences, not to mention other things.
So we're gonna let that cook down for a minute or two. Flip our chicken. Now that our sauce is cooked down a little bit over here, this is fresh pasta we get from Fresina's.
Oh,
actually,
they
is
make
on
your
Drusilla.
pasta?
Yeah, they
did
do
it.
all our pasta. It's nice to have fresh pasta. It'd be pretty impossible for us to make
Oh,
the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds we go through a week.
right.
So we add that al dente angel hair. The sauce warming up a little bit. And our chicken should be done and ready for plating.
It looks delicious. I can't wait for it all to come together.
So we have our angel hair pasta with the Pomadora sauce here. Make a nice ball in the middle of the plate. Our grilled chicken breast,
Oh, you're going to cut it for us too, huh?
sliced thin over the top. And that is our angel hair Pomadora with grilled chicken added.
Another delicious dish here at the Little Village on Airline. Harrison, thanks so much.
You're welcome, anytime.
Much more Weekends with Whitney coming up right after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ann Zedlitz, board-certified dermatologist, laser specialist, and an expert injector. Not all skin types are the same, so not all treatment should be the same. Are you looking to reduce fine lines and wrinkles? We can do that. Scarring from acne or injuries, or what about stretch marks? Tired of dealing with rosacea or uneven pigmentation? Are you looking to lift or tighten your skin? We can do that too. Come see me and my team of experts here at Z Dermatology.
New location now in Prairieville.
Studio 7 is redefining how Pilates is offered to the Baton Rouge community with top-of-the-line equipment, expert instructors, and classes offered every hour of the day till 8 p.m. at night. And it's not just Pilates that we offer. We offer intense cardio classes like piloxing, booty bar, which is cardio and strengthening, and what we're most proud of is our circuit class. We call it Circuit 7. It was designed by Liz, incorporating the most diverse and important properties of a complete workout. It's the reformer, it's cardio, intense bursts of cardio. It's TRX on the suspension bands. She incorporates the bar. She works everything, and it's a game changer.
Give the gift of fine dining. Wayne Stabler Companies is offering one card for 4. Le Creole, The Little Village, Stab's Steak and Seafood. 4 sizzling restaurants, 1 card.
This morning we are talking about love languages. Do you know what your love language is? Do you know what your significant other's love language is? Well, this morning we're going to explore those topics and more with Dr. Nick. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Thanks. I did this several years ago, but I'm shocked. You've talked about it, but you don't know your love language.
I have never taken the test. I can tell you that I remember years ago when I was working with the military, that's when it came out, and I remember reading the book. And you know, in I hate to admit it, but in that kind of arrogant mode, I'm like, this is just so simple. I could have written it. And now I find myself giving it to couples all the time. I think it's really, really powerful. And not necessarily just the language, let's say the notion of wanting to receive gifts. and help. Can I help? That's one of the languages. But what to avoid in the language.
Just as important.
Like as we were just talking about, helping everybody else, but not necessarily helping the person who really loves it the most.
Right. So let's talk about let's talk about the 5 love languages.
Okay.
What are they?
The first one is the words of affirmation, which just
Thank
noticing,
you.
recognition,
Sure.
which is yours.
You're fabulous. Yeah.
Or you're one of them. And I know that it is, because I know that whenever I see you, I'm always reminded, tell her she looks good.
Aww.
And it's not because it's an obligation, it's because I know how much that means to you.
And you know that my husband never says it. I mean, I'm just being honest. He doesn't. He never says
Cut
it.
that.
No,
Cut that.
it's real. It's true. And we're gonna keep it in.
Well, you know, you need 5 men in your life, so I'm just one of them. But anyway, that word of affirmation and kindness and affirmation and recognition. The second one is quality time, and I know we overdo it, but we overdo the word, but it really is a sense of a date night. The phone's off, the kids are gone. It's going to a movie and talking about it afterwards.
Sure. Cooking dinner together.
Cooking dinner together.
Going on a walk, bike ride.
It's almost kind of like we were talking once about a kind of a wandering time together. You know, you're not really goal oriented. You're not thinking about, okay, what are we going to do with the kids this weekend? You're just really, it's really momentary. That's the important thing about the quality time.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know people who are into that.
Oh, that's one of my love languages too. That and words of affirmation.
Then the receiving gifts is one. And
okay.
The receiving gifts is interesting because you'd think it would be easy for people not to forget birthdays and anniversaries and Valentines, and we do.
We do.
And to some people, Whitney, that is par excellence. That is heaven.
Well, that's love to them.
That's love to them. That's love to them. To be to be just again a sense of not forgetting to say something, or not forgetting I'm supposed to be here at a certain time.
Or if you just buy them a gift for no reason, they feel loved.
Yes.
Versus saying, let's go to a movie.
I think that's very interesting, because sometimes we think, okay, I'll just remember the main events. Well, no, it's not just that. It's about making also an event special. Even when it's maybe an ordinary event, like having champagne brought to the table.
Sure.
And what for? Just because I love you, because you're special. And of course you see how some of these weave in and out of each other.
Sure. Or how about a massage?
How about
that costs no money.
How about a massage?
I'll take one.
and we talk. One of them is the acts of service, which we talked about earlier. I'm going to help you. What can I do to help you? Doing the laundry. I'll go to the grocery. I'll make sure the kids, and
I'll wash your car.
That's again, I've often wondered after reading all these and studying them and work with people. I tend to think there's some gender basis for some of this. I think men really appreciate the acts of service more.
Yeah.
It's just acting.
Is that because men are just typically doers?
Doers. I
think
it's
done.
More, I do. I think it's much more of a doer. It's much more of a doer.
Okay.
And to a guy, I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't want to be crude about it, but I doubt you think of sending Robert roses on the anniversary. But I know he's going to send you roses on the anniversary, and that's going to mean something to you.
Sure. He would love it if I made dinner or dinner reservations.
Right. Right. Or I know when you talk about acts of service, and I don't know if this is true about Robert. Do you remember that time I brought over that huge tub of banana pudding? He treated me like a king. It was like, oh my God, there's Nikki. Thank you for the banana. He just loved it.
You're right.
It was just, and I was thinking, what's the deal? But it was just, and he loves food too.
Right.
We shouldn't be talking about Robert, but I mean, I know he does. But I know he does. A lot of people like food.
Yeah, but it was an act of service. You made him something to eat.
It was an act of service.
But it was also a gift.
It was also a gift, yes.
Yeah.
That's where they kind of tie into each other.
Sure. And
then,
last one?
Of course, the last one is physical touch. And
wait, and
that's
don't
the
most men have that as a physical?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say men, active service and physical touch, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know if I would say for sure that it is, but I know that I have a lot of touch hunger. I think there are certain people that really have a lot of touch hunger.
Sure.
I love to be touched. I love hugging. But part of it is also the way I was raised. But they're great languages. They're great languages. And like I was saying earlier, for those of you who want to read them, the 5 love languages, there's an assessment you can take.
Yes, which is great. You can figure it out. You can find out what your love languages are for your children.
That was fascinating to me.
Me too.
I had not seen much on that, so I've got to go do some exploration.
And guess what? My son, his love language is gifts.
Gifts?
Oh, yeah. And he's a teenager, and he's 17. I mean, it costs.
Wow.
I hate that.
Wow.
But I can't change it.
Well, except that again,
gifts.
you could think of gifts as not so necessarily, we don't have to think of them as costly.
Sure.
Would making his bed be a gift? That's more kind of an act of kindness.
Yeah, that would be a gift, and cooking for him.
Cooking for him.
No, he loves
What's
it
Sydney
when I cook
Joy's?
for him.
Or is she too young?
Time. No, she's not too young.
Of course it's
She's
quality
12.
time.
It's quality time.
Of course it's quality
Let's
time.
go to a movie, let's cook together, anytime mommy-daughter time. She
You know,
loves it.
and that makes sense to me because I'm very aware when I'm around you and me and you are jamming, I want to be very, since Sydney Joy, she's like, okay, when am I going to get mine? Haven't you noticed?
Oh, yes.
And I was just
Since she was
I got to
little.
go. I got to get out of here.
It's almost a jealousy type thing, right?
But it's human. It's real because that's her love language.
That's her love
She
language.
wants to hang with her mama the way you and I hang.
I know.
I mean, we can just hang and do nothing.
Forever. I wish we
The
had
5
forever to
love
talk about this.
languages.
Yeah, have fun with it, with you, your friends, and family. Hey, it'll improve friendships too when you know that every
Definitely.
relationship will
Definitely.
benefit.
It's worth it. It's
All
worth it.
right.
I wish I'd written it.
Me too.
Bye.
Much more of Weekends with Whitney right after this. Atlas Foundation Repair, fixing your foundation problems for more than 30 years while preserving and protecting your trees. Thanks for sharing part of your day here with me on Weekends with Whitney. Remember, you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or head to my website, weekendswithwhitney.net, for more on this and other great shows. Have a great week ahead. As we leave you this morning, we make way for ducklings.